And as you know, it's time for us to do the news. In our first story, the president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, has signed the executive instrument extending the duration of the restrictions imposed under Executive Instrument 64 and 65. The restrictions imposed on public gatherings under 64 have been extended for a period of some 2 weeks, with it taking effect today, the 13th of April 2020. And as announced already, the restrictions imposed on the movement of persons in Accra, Tema, Greater Kumasi and Kaswa under Executive Instrument 65 has also been extended for a further week period, all effective today. It continues. All other provisions, including all exemptions under Executive Instruments 64 and 65, however, still remain in force and effect. Meanwhile, amid the extension of the lockdown by a week, one major issue government has had to grapple with has been the compliance and consistent food distribution for the vulnerable in our society. Sarah Josu monitored activities in some parts of the capital, Accra, and brings us some details.
We've entered the third week of the lockdown here in Accra, and one can't say for a fact if this is going to be the last or whether the lockdown will be extended. Compliance in major parts of Accra has been encouraging, and we are currently at the Sutherland Children's Park, where food for the vulnerable is being organized so it can be distributed. We'll join them and find out more, and also drive through town and see how people are faring in this period. The vulnerable cram and rush for food. If they fail to grab their package, it may mean hunger the rest of the day. Here, physical and social distancing protocols have been thrown to the wind. Contracting the virus is the least of their concern. They must eat. A supervisor of this exercise and national youth organizer of the MPP, Henry Nana Boakye, acknowledges that they could have handled the situation in a better way.
Sharing this food obviously is going to be very difficult, because when I even went to Tama Station, you could see the large crowd of people wanting food to eat. It is very difficult for us to follow these rules. That is why it is important at least you wear your masks, you put on your gloves, and then as much as possible. I mean, this is a special project, right? But then if we are on our own, I think we really must practice the social distancing bit. It is very difficult though, but we all want it well, and then we are all hoping that this shall pass, and then we shall live our normal lives. Yes.
Accra is a pale shadow of itself as the streets have been deserted. Among the noticeable activities were the disinfection of ATM machines by some banks, the countless security checkpoints, waste management personnel on duty, and of course, residents sitting in front of their homes without observing physical distancing. For JoyNews, Sarah Josu.